Welcome to GOS Media. I'm Josiah Kim. Today's Grain of Sugar is part 5 of our 12-part recital by James Winter of Charles Dickens' novel, A Christmas Carol. So light up the Christmas tree, stoke the fire, grab some eggnog, and gather under the blanket while enjoying Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Although they had but that moment left the school behind them, they were now in a busy thoroughfare of a city, which was made plain enough by the dressing of the shops, that here too it was Christmas time again. But it was evening, and streets were lighted up. The ghost stopped at a certain warehouse door and asked Scrooge if he knew it.
Know it? Why, I was apprenticed here.
They went in. At sight of an old gentleman in a Welsh wig sitting behind such a high desk that if he had been 2 inches taller, he must have knocked his head against the ceiling, Scrooge cried in great excitement.
Why, it's old Fezziwig. Oh, bless his heart, it's Fezziwig alive again.
Old Fezziwig laid down his pen and looked up at the clock, which pointed to the hour of 7. He rubbed his hands, adjusted his capacious waistcoat, laughed all over himself from his shoes to his organ of benevolence, and called out in a comfortable, oily, rich, fat, jovial voice,
Yo ho, dear Ebenezer.
Scrooge's former self, now grown, and another young man came briskly and accompanied by his fellow prentice.
Dick Wilkins, to be sure. Bless me, yes, there he is. He was very much attached to me. Yo ho, my boys, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick, Christmas, Ebenezer. Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson.
You wouldn't believe how those 2 fellows went at it. They charged into the street with the shutters 1, 2, 3, had them up in their places 4, 5, 6, bound them and pinned them 7, 8, 9, and came back before you could have got to 12, panting like racehorses.
Hilly ho, clear away, my lads, and let's have lots of room here, hilly ho. Cheer up, Ebenezer.
Clear away? Oh, there was nothing they couldn't have cleared away with old Fezziwig looking on. It was done in a minute. Every movable was packed off as if it were dismissed from public life forevermore. The floor was swept and watered, the lamps were trimmed, fuel was heaped upon the fire, and the warehouse was as snug and warm and dry and bright a ballroom as you would ever desire to see on a winter's night. In came a fiddler with a music book, and went up to the lofty desk, and made an orchestra of it, and tuned like 50 stomach aches. In came Mrs. Fezziwig, one vast substantial smile. In came 3 Miss Fezziwigs, beaming and lovable. In came 6 young followers whose hearts they broke. In came all the young men and women employed in the business. In came the housemaid with her cousin, the baker. In came the cook with her brother's particular friend, the milkman. In came the boy from over the way, who's suspected of not having enough board from his master, trying to hide himself behind the girl from next door. In they all came, one after another, some shyly, some boldly, some gracefully, some awkwardly, some pushing, some pulling. In they all came, anyhow and everyhow. Away they all went, 20 couple at once, hands half round and back again the other way, down the middle and up again, round in various stages of affectionate grouping. Old Fezziwig clapped his hands to stop the dance and cried out, "Well done!" And the fiddler plunged his hot face into a pot of port especially provided for that purpose. During the whole of the time, Scrooge had acted like a man out of his wits. His heart and soul were in the scene. And with his former self, he corroborated everything, remembered everything, enjoyed everything, and underwent the strangest agitation. It was not until now, with the bright faces of his former self and Dick were turned from them, that he remembered the ghost and became conscious that it was looking full upon him, while the light upon its head burnt very clear. A small matter to make these silly folks so full of gratitude.
Small.
Why? Why is it not? He spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
Oh, it isn't that, Spirit. He has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or toil. Say that his power lies in words and looks and things just so slight and insignificant that it's impossible to add and count them up. What then? The happiness that he gives is quite as great as if it costs a fortune.
He felt the spirit's glance and stopped. What's the matter, Ebenezer?
No. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all.
His former self turned down the lamps, and as he gave utterance to the wish, Scrooge and the ghost again stood side by side in the open air. My time grows short. Quick.
Scrooge is quite the character, no? A bah humbug. Of course he's quite the character, which is exactly why the novel is one of the best-selling books in the world. And as a colony member, you get to hear the entire story while sitting around in your Christmas PJs. Make certain to leave a comment letting James know that you appreciate his effort and performance. And don't forget to hit up the merch store on the website. Our Christmas specials will be running through December 25th. You know, we truly mean it when we say thank you for your support. We would be unable to provide our regular programming and the specials without your participation and support. So, truly, thank you. We'll see you back here tomorrow as we continue the journey of Scrooge and his adventures. Merry Christmas. I've been your host, Josiah Kim.